ping the beautiful Discord. Alright, let's go. Oh my god, the stream is like only half set up. Yo. Just pin this. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna be pretty low energy today because I'm kind of sick. I don't know what I've got, but I just feel fucking terrible. Those are receipts. So, yeah. I mean, I don't ping Sanctuary because, I mean, I could, but like, I don't know, it feels weird. Where's my pen? Does this work? No. Do I not have a working pen? Where? No. Okay. Oh, that's my pen. There we go. Alright, let's get into it. Let me just do the chat. Chat. There we go, that should be working out. Alright, let's go. Alright, first up, Arco by Haze, relatable waveform. Yeah, no, this looks like a Haze waveform for sure. Just and then bone sausage. I feel like that's when you should do an actual release with just this dun 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 at the end, just to be fun. Honestly, I really like this. I like. I've told you before, like in previous weeks, I've talked about like your chord sound design, and this definitely feels like a step in the right direction. Where it feels like a little less noisy, while still being really, really, really limited. It feels a little more tonal now, and I think. I don't know if you've just like put less layers in there and it's more like focused, but overall it's good. I mean, yeah, Kelly B said phone ringing. This is kind of like a very, we have a square wave type of vibe. It would be nice to hear more atmosphere with this. For 15 seconds, it feels like, I don't feel like it's harmonically developing enough over the course of 15 seconds to be on its own. Because it's literally just one note. If you had like chords, I would kind of fuck with it. But I feel like it's just too simple. But this is cool. Actually, what I really want to talk about is the drums. I think the drums are good. I think now from here, it's just like... Actually, I said I want to talk about the drums, and I'm like, no, the drums are good, move on. I really just want to see like a fuller arrangement, mostly. That's kind of what I'm getting to. Like, I would beef up the atmosphere either in here, or develop it more harmonically, meaning like add a bass note, add some type of... some more development in some way. Or just make it shorter. Just submitted? Perfect. Let me add yours. And it just feels like it's missing something. Okay. I'll pop this at the end. I'd love to listen to something else of yours. Newer Dark Pro. What's dark? There's more cosplay. This looks cool. This jacket looks fucking fire, actually. What the fuck? Sick. Whoa. Immediately. Okay, I feel like this is cool. I definitely feel like the progressive house, I guess. Oh, is it dark progressive house? Okay, that makes more sense. I feel like this is cool. I'm missing the it factor. I think this is something that I've focused more and more on as I continue to develop as an artist. But specifically in the last like 2 years, I've really focused on like figuring out how to add it factor, and it's different for every artist, right? But it's also like unique for each song. Where I think for each song you have to have something that's like this is at least the singular reason you come for this song. Whether it's like a particular sound or a particular melody. I feel like melody is a good example where it's like kind of obvious on the face of it. It's like, oh yeah, like I come to this song to listen to this melody. But there's plenty of songs that have simple melodies or don't really have like as much melodic development but have like flows. You hear this a lot in trap music where it's just like a particular kind of flow mixed with a certain type of sound design that's just like, yeah, this is why I come to this song. And here, it feels like it has the potential, but it's missing that distinguishing factor that I'm like, oh my god, yeah, this is that song. So I feel like one place you could definitely like start to look for a little bit more distinguishing factor is like the drums. Because right now this like ride and the rides and the hats are quite soft and noisy. So I would either double down on that and make those a little bit more prominent, like make space and let those be more in the front and like really, yeah, double down, lean into it, or try changing them. I would suggest probably, if I were to work on this track, I would work on layering these and adding some weird elements. And there's literally an infinite amount of ways you can do weird. Weird just means like stepping outside of the sort of expectations of the genre and infusing something different. So whether you start adding lo-fi hats or, you go like full 909, you could, I don't know, do like Foley stuff. What else could you do? And you could literally just take recordings from stuff around your house, which is like really Foley-esque, and just be like, okay, cool. I don't know, this water bottle, I'm going to record a bunch of sounds and then use this to layer into my drums. Or you could start like grabbing dubstep hats, go grab something from Fox Stevenson pack, so on and so forth. I'm trying to obtain it factor in my tracks too. Weird equals good. Yes, I will say weird is always a good place to start. And I feel like it's the easiest way to talk about it. But at the same time, within that, there's still, I think, this feeling of like, I don't know, it factor is super hard to define because it's it, It's the stuff that's obvious once you see it. You're like, yeah, obviously it's this, but it's very difficult to manufacture. Refine weird. Yeah, I think definitely refining weird is a good way to put it. Because if it feels, I think there's also the difference between weird and awkward. Where sometimes you try something different, but it doesn't really gel. And we make tracks like this all the time. I have so many tracks that I've made that I'm like trying something and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna try this thing, and then it just ends up being like, huh? There's a track I'm working on right now that like I feel like I finally accidentally slid into this feeling of like trying something that I'm like that's like weird in the sense that it was totally not what I had planned for the track, and now I'm like really happy with it. But it's just about getting it to fit. So refining that weird stuff. Okay, weird and then fix, same. Bet. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm with this, because like the melody is good, the sounds themselves are good, just missing the thing. Proxima Similitude. Kelly B reimagined. I'm really happy with this track so far. It's getting closer to being finished. Any feedback would be awesome. Bet. Oh, nice full track. Turn on the volume just a bit. Yo, what's up, Green Dragon? Send something into the Bam. Oh my god. Oh, what the fuck? What? Oh my I'm like speechless. This is crazy. I like this. This is cool. Okay. Nice. Super sick. I think at this point you've reached a point with the sound design where it's like just sounds so professional. Like all of the sounds themselves are super crunchy and like just in your face and really dry. So like definitely think you've like come to a point of like really nailing the sound in terms of like your main sounds. Super good job on that. Still polishing. I think for me the biggest holdbacks are just the flows. Like honestly, this is fine. This one with the doo-doo is like, it's crazy. This will go hard. I can totally see this like popping off at like Boot House. It just feels like the polish in terms of like the flows. You notice it here. where it's like, but it's missing the extra little bits of syncopated drum stuff to really hit, where it just feels like it's not quite like slowed down in the sense that, like, you've completely slowed down to a completely different groove. So it's like halfway in between this like really up-tempo D&B stuff and something that's like more relaxed and groovy, if that makes sense. It's so I would experiment further with the drum flow of this. I would even go so far as to just like completely delete your drums and try it from scratch if you feel like you're not getting anywhere or you're getting too stuck in a loop. Like, I'm just missing that, like those little like fills and stuff that will connect the spaces in between this. Because sometimes you can have like just nothing, but this feels like you want to keep up the tempo. It's like in this weird in-between space where you really can't live without those little filling elements. I tried to keep some of the main rhythms from the OG track. I'll mess with them more though for sure. I mean, if you want to send me the showcase, go ahead. We don't have a lot of ideas today. I just don't know if I'm gonna survive until then because I'm kind of sick. So I'm very tired, but I'm feeling okay right now. Alright, next up, Dreamin' with Nari.
I made up a story in my head that we both walked in a garden. Flowers bloomed with every word you said, and you called me your Prince Charming. 'Cause I've been dreaming of you every night. Please don't open my eyes. Dreaming of you when I turn off the lights. It's your hand in mine. Made up a story in my head that we both walked in a garden. I was bloomed with every word you said, and you called me your Prince Charming. And it goes like,
Okay. This beat part so goes so hard.
Flowers bloom with every word you said, and you called me your Prince Charming. 'Cause I've been dreaming of you every night. Please don't open my eyes. Dreaming of you when I turn off the lights. It's your hand in mine. I made up a story in my head that we both walked in a
Okay. Interesting. Okay, so I feel like since the last time we heard this, it's like I feel like you've definitely made some improvements. It feels like it's a cleaner track, but also I'm still struggling with the A part. The A part for me is like difficult to I like the fake out actually. This is a situation actually where I think the fake out is good because it gives us a little bit of like we go from like very. So you give the fake out to give us as a listener like, oh okay, I didn't think this was where I was going, but okay, now I understand. So that's good. And then it just feels like the sounds aren't breathing clearly. You know, it's kind of like when you have a stuffy nose, that feeling of just like everything is a bit too congested and you're like, oh, like I don't know, like it's just tough. And here I'm feeling the same where a lot of the sounds are more mono. Now what I would suggest is probably leave the bass house part more mono, but I think the B part needs to be way more stereo. I think if you create that contrast of like the bass part being, I think if you clean up the mix in terms of like getting it to open up a bit. So this is just an EQ question of like getting, I think, a little bit of these like high ends pushed out on the bass part. It just feels like it's not open up. It feels like it's not even like quite full frequency. It's kind of like a lot of concentrated frequencies, like between like 300 hertz to like 1,000 hertz that should be there, but just not in the amount, like not as loud as they are. A part sounds similar to B part still, so maybe try to make more of a contrast. Yeah, I see where you're going with that. Yeah, I agree. I think honestly the chords need to go from the A part. I think if you remove the chords and just focus on like bass and lead, you can still have the chords in there in other ways, but I would just remove like the saw chords completely from the A part, and just focus on like getting the lead and bass to hit hard. You can still introduce the chord information in terms of the harmonies with, you know, some other method, like either by having a sound that's got those harmonics in there or having like harmonies for the leads every now and then. But I kind of agree. I think if you remove the chords as well, it will make the mixing of the A part a lot easier. I would also like to hear more stereo in the breaks. Specifically with this pluck, you have this like, the pluck is unfortunately, it's not masking because it's a fairly, harmonically it's not super dense. So you don't have too much conflict with the vocal, but it just feels like it's spatially overlapping. Well, it's not even, it feels like it is spatially overlapping with the vocal, which isn't inherently bad, but I feel like if you add a ping-ponging like delay to it, it can even just be like quarters, just like quarter notes with delay, or even like eighth notes with some ping pong. Just make sure that it's like panning properly. It will just like add this element of like dimension. It will push the pluck a little further back into the mix. So that's actually, funnily enough, like we think of like reverb as a way to push stuff further forward or backwards into the mix depending on how much reverb it's got, but delay also sends things further back into the mix in your mind, where if something has delay, you're not paying it, it doesn't feel as upfront. It feels a little dreamier. Bro gave his brain time to split into threes and discuss. Wait, what? Gang, what does this mean? What is this volcano emoji? Bro gave his brain time to split into threes and discuss. Am I like, is there just something wrong with my stream? I'm lost. Anyway. Was there anything else? Oh, the last thing I wanted to talk about. Sorry, I know it's like a lot of things, but it's mostly because I'm rambling. Anyway, at the beginning of the build here, I'll just take it from here. the entrance into this build is honestly like just empty. Like if we listen to the elements that are going on here in the few seconds before and in this transition, we've got shakers that disappear and the vocal. You've got a respace and like the pluck. So it's like these 4 elements and that's it. You got a fill, and then it's just still the res and then the vocal, and still the pluck. So you've sort of done a fill that implies that a change is going to happen, but then no change happens. In fact, I think you get rid of an element because now there isn't the shaker. So I would work on this and add stuff here. So add little, like add extra effects. Go into my Patreon. There's like literally I have like not quite 200, but like I have so many free samples in there that you can just like go. Not most of them aren't going to be right, but there will be a couple in there that are like the right fit for here, where you'll just have like a little like Atmos one shot that you can just be like whoop, just like automate to fit in here to add something, you know, a little perk that you can add a delay to. Just it needs something in here. It needs a couple of elements to just be like, you know, go into SSE packs if you have them and just like add some sort of background element, because it doesn't need to be like, the build doesn't need to like be completely devoid of, it should have new elements in it. It should just have new elements in it so that when you get here we're excited still. You don't want to, you want to create tension to release. W samples actually though, I appreciate it, man. I'm really trying to make them all good. I hope that I can get all of them out for this week, because me being sick has meant like the last 2 days I've literally just been in bed the entire time. But the chat is not delayed. It's on low latency, Green Dragon. I just don't, I'm not like constantly looking at the chat, because I'll be talking and then 2 minutes will go by and then I will be like, oh, let me check my chat. There's more on me. Anyway. That's really it. Alright. Kelly, follow me. Oh, let's go. We got the Green Dragon IDs as well. Let me just pop these in here. Here we go.
You say that you're leaving me, the same thing you said last night. You can't do it peacefully, you won't go without a fight. So when I go, I know you'll follow me. I don't want slamming doors. No, no, just wait and see. You'll feel it naturally. There's no one else I see. I know you'll follow me.
Damn.
I know you'll follow me.
Damn.
I know you'll follow me.
That's cool. Yeah, I like that you're taking the sound design and bringing it to future bounds. It's very crunchy. It's almost too crunchy in a way that it's a little distracting from the melody. Like, I feel like I would like the melody actually to be a little more screechy almost in the top end. This is like the curse of future bounce, where like if you can get it, if you do it right, it's too noisy, but then if you don't have a noise, it doesn't like hit the same. It's like a really, really, really fine balance of getting the right amount of like noisiness and brightness and stuff. But I feel like this is good. I actually just don't like the break, to be honest, and I don't have like a particular articulable thing. I just don't like the combination of stuff. I think it's just not my vibe. I like the intro.
You say that you're leaving me.
I think it's mostly the movement of the bass that like doesn't click with me. It's like da, da, na, and then like da, like I don't know. It just feels a little rhythmically awkward.
Same thing you said last night.
Like in combination with the other elements, like yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't hit this like nice flow for me. But I understand that maybe you just haven't worked on this yet and haven't gotten it to a place where it's working. But this is cool. I really have nothing else to say on the drop. I would just take a look at the breaks and like develop it, and probably in developing it, you'll fix the things that I don't like about it, because the sounds are okay in there. And next, he's got a. Honestly, for a second, I thought this was a picture. Now I realize it's a drawing. 2 tracks. Oh, I see. 2 like. He's entering a symbols era. Botanica! Oh my god. Phew. I mean, I have to say I'm more partial to this. I like the like. I feel like in Botanica you have to earn moments of like complete fullness, like this, where it's this like where it just goes like complete like super noisy distortion stuff. On its own, it's still cool though, but I really wish that these were like more combined. Like if these 2 tracks were actually 1 track, it'd be cool. Because I have to say, I'm like, I find just being able to appreciate the dynamics and actually get to appreciate the individual sounds, for me, is preferable to just being like, well, let me just throw everything into the limiter as hard as I can before it's like complete white noise. Like on its own. I think when you use the 2 together, for me, I do like when Botanica like gets that distorted vibe, but it has to be a development where we go from like super clean and then it like has a moment where for the story it like goes into this like we completely distort and it causes some kind of change. We come out of it and it's like, okay, now we're at a different, our sense of energy is different. I feel like most of Botanica is just like taking sounds, resampling them and glitching them, which there are just certain plugins and tools. I've been experimenting with some stuff recently. I'm gonna see. There's a couple of samples that are kind of Botanica-ish for this this week of samples. All pass phase, yeah, it is just a lot of FX. Taking simple sounds and just like letting things get really randomized until you get cool shit. Spectral gate. Alright. But these are cool. Space Master. Oh my god. ID mix. Let's go. Alright, let's take a listen to this first.
No, I can never forget the feeling. That cold December when I lost your touch. Don't you remember the cold ember feeling? Set by the fire when we lost our love. When we've lost our way. Can you feel it? Pull you closer when we're far away. When we've lost our way. Can you feel it? Pull you closer when we're far away. Let's get lost in space.
Oh my lord. Okay, Miro. Ow. Jesus Christ.
Let's get lost in space.
This is super sick, aside from the fact that it's complete ear rape. But it's still cool. Part A is too harsh. Yeah, yo, just got out of bed. Yeah, this will wake you up from your grave, dude. That A part is like, whew. I mean, I'm playing a little bit, but like genuinely, the A part is like, the thing about the A part is it's so piercing that it actually literally changed the EQ profile of like how I'm listening. Like my ears don't hear properly anymore. Like this sounds really muddy now, even though it honestly is probably pretty decently mixed. I will say that that hat feels like it's missing something. It's sticking out a bit and not in like it feels like weirdly too loud. I like that it's moving though. That's cool. Dude, that's what Mira. I mean, it genuinely just look at it. Literally just take a frame of it on an EQ and just look at it. I bet you it's literally just like from 10K up, just pure high end. I mean, it's crazy. Just sent? Bet. I will add it. I need to attend a hi-hat conference to get better. Honestly, I do too. I feel like hi-hats are like, especially like music is all about this, about like learning how to make things deceptively simple yet good. But put a high soothe and EQ. No, it's not a soothe problem. Soothe is gonna make it worse. Okay, honestly, I'm a big soothe hater. And I use soothe. Like I use soothe, but I'm a big soothe hater. I think soothe is genuinely a fucking the problem is that most people don't understand how soothe works or how soothe actually is affecting the sound. Like you just think that it's helping or that you're fixing the mix. Soothe does not fix your mix, it makes it worse. Soothe is a sound design tool. Fundamentally, I have the same opinion on it as I do on OTT, which is like everybody just doesn't know how to use soothe. You think that by removing the resonances you're making it better, when in fact you're just slowly making your sound closer to white noise. Which sometimes is what you want, right? I generally though, it's like most of the time, unless you're soothe is at its best when you're removing artifacts and like piercing resonances from your sound. No, it's not problematic. Like, yes, there are a few problematic resonances in here, but literally just listen to the EQ. Like, it's just... It's like so much high end. If I take this... You know, and that, like, obviously now your B part sounds different, but like, no, now it's no longer like completely a rape. Obviously, I'm like exaggerating a little bit. Like, it's just, that's the difference for me. It's just like too much high end. You could just use soothe to do that. Yeah, but you don't understand, like, you think that you're using soothe to remove resonances and it's helping. You're just killing the sound. You're making the sound more flat in a way that's not artistic, right? You're just... The thing is, you're soothing it out, but it's not really soothing it so much as it is like just erasing what makes the sound interesting. Which is why manual EQ is still better. You can still kill the sound with manual EQ. Like, I've done it many times. And then gone back and been like, why did I EQ this? I literally just made the sound worse. Is there a better alternative other than EQ? Honestly, like, the alternative in this case is like not only just like EQing, but understanding how to distort. And it's like one of those things that's like we're talking about mastery here, about like mastering EQ, mastering like and when I say EQ, I mean like really like equalization, mastering how you're manipulating harmonics in your sounds. And I feel like it is definitely on hard mode when you use sounds like these retro future sounds. This is like some of the hardest version of this, because the sounds are already come harmonically quite dense, and then making alterations to them is difficult, because everything you do has a chance to like completely just like make the sound crazy. Manipulate harmonics, too complicated for me. Yeah, I mean with distortion, right? Depending on how you distort, you're gonna add different kinds of harmonics, and so learning what harmonics you're actually adding with your distortion helps a lot. Oh, he's just kidding. Well, okay. All right, next tune. Yeah, sorry if I just railed on the mix the entire time and fought with you about Soothe, but it was important. Future idea. This is some like fashion show type of song. Make a commercial, beat. When is the Sunder X Mirror X Green Dragon collab? I don't know, bro. Put this in Dress to Impress. That's the game I was thinking about. I was really thinking about that because I funnily enough, there's a couple of tunes in there that like are so good. It has like weirdly good music. I've never played this game, but yeah. Queso. What does this man have to do with anything? Listen to it. Is this sound this da 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 like da da da? It's like a combination of like the harmony and the grooviness. I don't know. I hear it. I definitely hear it. I don't even know if I gave you feedback on this. What the fuck? I'm losing my mind, guys. I mean, it's honestly just nice. It just feels like this A-lead, this like duh thing is a bit boring. It's just like it feels a bit flat. I feel like I'd like to hear like an extra layer and maybe a little bit more atmosphere overall. And I honestly think it should be like atonal atmosphere, or it should be like more like just actual like atmospheric noises rather than super tonal stuff, because you have really good harmony already. You could definitely like stack stuff on top of this, but there's something really nice about what you already have going here. And I feel like you don't want to get in the way of that. You just want to add extra texture and sounds. As how to make it more highs or like more energy. I feel like it lacks completely. Feels like sounds like breakcore as house or jungle. I feel like yeah, it gives me a little bit more of like a jungle vibe. The jungle vibe is coming from the drums, by the way, like the hats. I mean, I would like just make these like the drums keep the high end. I think if you make the drums a little bit more like up front, like these hat shaker whatever the fuck things they are, they don't sound like shakers. They're like really clicky. Yeah, just let the high end be for the drums, honestly, and you'll get the energy because they're not really that loud. I mean, they function really well. I just they weren't super present in the mix, so I wasn't really paying attention to them. Sounds like rally video game tribute. See, everyone's talking about this video game stuff. It has that vibe. It's great. Sigma on the wall. Okay, we've entered the brain rot. Perks? Yeah, sure. Percussion. Percussion, baby. But generally don't, if you can, don't corrupt it with too much high end, because it doesn't need it. I gotta find the like dress to impress stuff. Wait. Yeah, here we go. This theme is a banger. The mix is not good, but like the overall vibe of this is mint. Yo, what's up, Echoflux? That's why it kind of reminds me of that. I don't know, something about this is like it has the same cadence and vibe. All right, Killy B Deep. Wait, let me make sure to add the new IDs in here. Yeah, wait, let me do these ones from Tincho and Disconnect. Discontent. I'm short circuiting, guys. Sorry. Here we go. Second drop didn't save well. There was a cut. All good, man. Ooh, I like the start already. I'm doing well. Dude, this mix is SOG for DTI. SOG. Dog. I like SOG better. Oh, I have to say the line now. The damn green dragon has no chill today. He's just going after everyone. This is such a cool pre-drop sound. This is some future bounce right here. Yeah, true. Okay, yeah, literally cut. Okay. This is cool, man. I have to say this break is really sick. The break is a really good vibe. I like where the harmonic lead is going. I feel like it doesn't come through in the drop though. I know Green Dragon's railing on you in the chat for like being generic, and it feels like the sound palette in the drop feels more generic because the break feels so developed in terms of its sound, and it feels like it's not coming through in the drop. Like you have a little bit of a disconnect here where it feels like the drop was made in like a separate project. And it's missing that like atmosphere that you have in the break. So I would say like, I also think there's a little bit of just like, for me, the melody doesn't land. Yeah, it's just like I don't dig the melody of this rhythm. It's like da 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 na na na. It just feels a bit stuck. Intro and drop need loudest. That's true. The lead feels a bit in my face. Yeah, there's also the mixing component. Honestly, Green Dragon, I feel like it's just the kind of future bounce you like to listen to. Because I agree, definitely need to like increase the level of the chords, just like they need to be louder. But I think you're missing the point here, which is like this is a particular style of future bounce. If I go to like, there's like plenty of different kinds of future bounce that have existed in the past. If my playlists will load. Where is my future bounce playlist? Here we go. Like even just this first one, this is like very chill. This doesn't have like mega boost the chords, you know, insane in your face. If you listen to all the... Like, yeah, there's chords in here, but it's not like blasting your ears off, you know. It's not like this type of... You know, where everything just has to be blasting high end out of its mind. You know, super big fluffy chords. Here, I just feel like it's missing the it factor that makes the break work is missing in the drop. Is what I'm trying to get to. Yeah, we still working? Whole paragraphs in chat? I mean, honestly, it's nice. It's nice to see you guys chatting about it. I think the problem... I like how we've completely moved on. It's like the melody... No, none of this. That kick in the clap. Guys, that's the kick. I see what you mean. I feel like it's just... Overall, the drop just needs to be worked a little more. Right? I see where here it's just like... This is like a work in progress. So yeah. To reiterate and to consolidate my feedback, I feel like I'd like to hear a little bit more of the atmospheric vibe, like the tonality that comes through in the break to also be present in the drop so they feel connected. And then I think just like to get the flow right, and I think once you have that, what decisions you need to make will become more obvious. I support you. Tinsho, I support you when the world stands against you. Drums are so important. Honestly, yes. Drums are incredibly important, and I did not realize this until way too late. I did not realize it until recently where I'm like, oh, my drums suck, and that's why my sound is also like, feels difficult where I'm like, it's not hitting. I don't know why it's not hitting, and it's like, yeah, because your kick is just terrible. Anyway. We will make it out the hood, everybody. You remind me. Damn, you've... Graphic design artist coming through here, everybody. Alright, let's go. Featuring Elecon. Oh, let's go. We've got features. I'm so down. Damn. This is such a different style than the last track. It's so cool. This is insane. What the fuck? See you, Green Dragon. Yeah, send another one, Tincho. Go for it.
You sound like popcorn and all my lively singing in my room. New York postcards and guitars.
This is so cool. What the fuck? There we go. That's what we needed.
One more night until I cry because your hand still twisting frosted daisies.
This is super cool. Man, I'm really digging the direction you're going with this. With your project. Anyway, for me, it's this and this. Okay. I think overall, on an overall level, there's like, I think the arrangement is like the biggest thing you could change to make this like really hit. Because I think overall you have everything already done here. I think the snare could pop a little more. The snare is really, really laid back. Like, if you listen to it, it's quieter than the hat, basically. It just feels like it's too soft. So it'd be nice to have it feel like a... If you think about it, a snare is somebody hitting a drum. To get the snare sound, you actually have to hit the drum. Like, yeah, you can tap it a little bit like this, but if I imagine a drummer drumming this, it has a little bit more pop to it. So I'd like to hear that come through. And then the arrangement just feels like it's not developing enough. It's too much of the same. Like, if I can go through to 4 or 5 different points and they more or less sound the same sonically, it means that there's just not enough changing. I would really, like, you can keep it similar for certain, I don't know, like building blocks, right? If you want to keep your chorus sounding the same each time, that's totally fine. And even like here, but it's just too much the same. And so it starts to feel quite monotone and kind of, you stop paying attention as much. It takes a little bit away from how good it actually is. So I would say by like here, I would either remove the bass, I think probably even more importantly, remove the piano. And I would put in a different sound. I would put in like either a synth or like even like a whirly piano, and just like let it just sit for a while without having any rhythm under it, other than just like the bass. The Labs whirly is honestly pretty decent. That's true. Vinyl does have limited, not only stereo, but yeah, like the reverb. The reverb's just not as good. I'm gonna try to replicate it how they did in the 1950s, so I'm trying to be careful with doing too much. Yep. Yo, what's up, Toxic Wraith? Like, you're definitely getting close to that vibe. The vinyl crackle is also too high fidelity. Funnily enough, the vinyl crackle is actually too loud and too bright. Yeah, I don't know. I find that funny. I'm talking about like getting it to 1950s. I'm like, yeah, you know, the vinyl crackle, it's too much. Funny. Kelle sounds like a soccer player name. Yo, Kelle. Export with 1 BT. With what? 1 Bluetooth. Okay, I'm cooked. Anyway, that's my thoughts. Other than that, like the vocals are great. Like the vocals are really, really cool. The production matches it perfectly. Alright, let me check the feedback submission. Because I think Tinsha sent another one, and then Alright, here we go. Let me get this in here. Whoa. Damn, this person's name, Broke Boy Productions. This person has a crazy looking name. Super cool. I hate that. Let's go. Digital DNA. Ooh. Discontent, go and send another dude. Ooh, are we getting a Psytrance track? Ooh.
Our identities are no longer just flesh and blood. The data and code. Woven into the fabric of cyberspace.
It's like kind of smooth rollover into the drop. Wow, nice. This is sick though. I feel like the kick really works here now, whereas I didn't feel like it worked before. Arabina transition thing? Yeah, that's so cool.
Digital DNA.
I like the stuff going on though. Nice. It's a pretty smooth transition again. You're really good at these like fold over transitions where it just like sort of like very smoothly end up in the next section.
But data and code
Woven into the fabric of cyberspace
and etched into
to eternity.
digital DNA.
Ooh. Yeah, I know this is long chat, but I'm like actually listening to the whole thing. What old exercise is this genre? What? This is like definitely like in the psytrance direction, but quite melodic for psytrance, which I love.
DNA.
Oh yeah. This is probably my favorite part so far. This is like the best flow. Oh, this is nice too. complete vibe switch for my next sub. Alright, now we fade into darkness. Okay, cool. Alright, chat. I hope you enjoyed the Psytrance ride. Okay, I got a couple of notes here. So for me, overall, I would say like the vibe hits, right? The vibe is good. W track, yeah, I honestly agree. Psytrance is really easy to do boring. But this is like, I really like that you developed it and you actually went for this like really cool melodic vibe, and it feels like you had it feels quite like an intentional track, so I dig that. I would say for me, the big points of feedback are like the hat, the kick maybe could be a bit punchier overall, personally. So I just woke up what happened for the past 7 minutes. We brainwashed him. Damn. The hat, this is like where I would just like definitely recommend, if you have serum, there is a serum preset by this guy called Nest, I think, and he makes this cool serum preset. It's free, where you can put in a drum into this preset, and it just gives it that like human touch to it. And especially for a track like this where you're playing the hat probably a couple hundred times, it's super important to get that like slight variation in the sound that makes it feel like it's a real drum, in the sense that like any human who would play a hat hundreds of times, it would be completely unique every time, and we're quite sensitive to that as human beings. So when we hear that something is the exact same sound, we kind of like start filtering it out in the same way that like if you're in a crowd or on a plane or you're listening to a waterfall, it becomes noise, right? You stop hearing it. What's the guy's name for the preset? Let me just look it up real quick. Let me find it. Drum Humanizer by Nest. So you can just look that up on Google, you'll probably find it. It's super, super nice. So that will help a good bit, because overall, like it's just the variation, like the texture on like the main elements. So I thought it was a Serum Effects thing that you just put on your drums. Was very disappointed. I mean, honestly, yeah, it is definitely like a little bit of a learning curve in terms of you just gotta figure out how to get the exact right sound you want out of it. But I still found it pretty easy to like plug and use. In theory, you could use the effects chain from it on its own, but it would require a lot of messing around to get it to work. Whereas this is fairly plug and play. I feel like here in the arrangement, this felt like a little too much. There was too many things going on for me for a Psytrance track. I feel like if you go hard on maybe like half of the elements and like commit to those, it'll still fit really well. Because like here, this felt great. This felt focused, whereas this feels a little too like
Digital DNA.
Yes, it's just too dense for me. Too much stuff. Too much Kyokon remakes. True, that exists. Feels like a track that would be in Thor Ragnarok on that one planet. I haven't. Wait, what? Oh, yeah. Okay. Also, like this down tempo area. That's kind of it. Oh, also the format shift here is a little silly. Gets a little goofy.
Cyberspace.
It's that cyberspace. It's like it gets too high to the point where it feels. Yeah, it just feels a little silly. So, I like the effect though. The effect overall is good. It just might tweak it to be a little less. All right. It's been so long already. Oh my god. Yeah, there's a lot to talk about. Okay. Next track. Let's see who we got. I'm gonna do this guy first because he hasn't sent in a track yet. Let's take a listen. I don't know if you're gonna be able to use the feedback because this looks like it's in some kind of EP, but I'm very curious. Appreciate the feedback? No problem, man. Alright. Drag this forward. I think we'll do it in this order. I'm gonna skip forward a little bit. Oh, this is cool. I guess for me it just feels a little too... Well, I guess if it's psychedelic vibes, it kind of makes sense that it's formulated like this. That's nice too. Honestly, like the drums going into the reverb here. I guess the only thing maybe is that everything is so far in the background that, I don't know, it feels all quite far in the background and also like a little too quiet. Maybe it's just too quiet on my headphones. Kind of. I would like to hear more coming from the drums, I think. If you're gonna go for this. I understand it's like psychedelic type of vibe, so the idea is just to repeat, and the repetition itself is like the... where like your mind starts to do a lot of the work on behalf of the music, if that makes sense. Where the experience is about like letting it take you somewhere, and just like it's more of a head type of music where you're just letting it the groove, I don't know, take your head to funny places. It's a lot more chill. Tried to make it out like a jam session. Okay. Psychedelic lo-fi. Yeah, I definitely get that vibe. New to making music, to be fair. Honestly, if you're new to this is like a great start. It feels like you've kind of got an intention of where you're trying to go with this. The chords are nice when they came in. That is definitely true. Yeah, I mean, 4 minutes for this genre kind of makes sense. I want to hear the other one you sent, actually, really quick. And then we'll listen to Toxic Crates. Ooh. Because I feel like I may be able to give better feedback to this one. Afro techno just sounds cool, like as a genre name. I find it a little funny that the bass is stereo though. It kind of works though. I love all the chanting. Chanting's super dope. Hello, I am under the water. Help me, it's too much raining. Yeah, I definitely feel the progressive vibes in terms of it being like very... It's taking its time, which I honestly dig. I want to know how you either found or made these vocals though, because this is like, I don't even know where I would start with this. Like, I'm so out of the Afro loop. Ooh. I think the underwater vibe is coming from the way that these like low drums, I don't know what, I think they're bongos, but they're quite filtered, which is a cool sound. But Afro house, yeah, I mean, I think as far as I know, it has origins from a lot of like African music. Wow, I was not expecting an 808 here, but it fits really well, surprisingly. Kind of just like slots in. Ooh, what a nice perk. This part is sick. Wow, it like really like almost sneaks up on you how much stuff happens in like this last minute. Yeah, I agree. I love seeing all of this really different stuff. I love it, like, we're bringing in more people just doing, like, very wildly different things. It's very fun for me. I feel like those chords might be a little dissonant, but... Okay, cool. Super, super cool. Okay, my big feedback is, like, I honestly like this. I just wish it didn't take quite so long to get here. I mean, I get that it's progressive, but I feel like it'd be nicer to pull this a bit forward, vibe-wise, by like maybe a minute. And my place where I would cut stuff is here. Like, we have like this like filtered vocal, and it's just the drums, and I feel like we could cut from here. Here it's still mostly the same. If we listen to it, like this is like 30 seconds apart, and there's not much that has changed. If you're new to music, it's definitely like something you'll get better at, which is like figuring out the pacing of how much development you need for each genre. Try to make it all full circle. I definitely see the vibe here. I feel like if you want to make it full circle though, and like more loopable, the ending needs to also be at the same level of energy as here. Because here, it kind of is actually. Well, to be fair, it is. It's just a long tail from the export, which you probably could have cut. Yeah, here I just want to hear like a little more development that's like obvious, a little more stuff going on. But maybe I also just don't know enough about the genre, and I'm like missing the thing. Oh, the other thing is here. This is like my last piece of feedback. Is like the chords here. This like the synth here. I personally, if I was doing this, I would have brought this. First of all, I would have centered it because it's panned right now, which can be cool. But I've just centered it and made it wide, and then focused more on getting the other elements to do more of the movement. And let this thing function more as a pad that's like filling the space and like creating a sort of like bed for all these other elements to dance around. Because it is quite a nice synth. But I feel like it's being underutilized here. Piano is a type of African house that takes its time building up, but I made a techno variation using UK influence while focusing on progression and percussions. Okay, gotcha. Fair enough. Well, I hope the feedback was useful. New track out now? True, Toxic Wraith is a new track out. We are excited. Always Clock Strikes 12 finally coming out? Let's go. Alright. I'm excited. This is gonna be like a complete vibe switch. Let's get it.
You are sweet as paradise. I saw forever in your eyes. No one could ever put a price on us. No. When my heart stops beating, I'll still bleed for you. When the world stops turning, I'll still burn for you.
Whoa. Ooh. Love that. Ooh, I dig this arrangement here. I love this, man. This is such a cool vibe. I agree. This is like really, really unique. Okay. My main pieces of feedback is like, I don't know, with the leads, I feel like the balance of them is, they just don't feel quite polished yet. Like I love all the sounds. It just feels like there's a little bit of like, I don't know, I just want them like EQ wise placed a little differently. And also like that vocal counter lead could be a bit louder in my opinion. Whereas that like da-na, that da-na lead is like also too loud. It's just like a couple of like, this is originally a Clock Strikes 12 remix contest loser. What? That's crazy. Maybe we do something like the first lead and the second drop to vary it more. But to be honest, it's just like, yeah, we could, but I think it's just great. The other thing is just the vocals. I feel like they're good. I just feel like it's missing a little bit of like clarity. Like that top end of the voice that helps you to really distinguish like certain syllables and consonants is like kind of missing here. So it feels like the vocal is melting a little bit. It's like melted on the edges. So like some of the words that she's saying, it's quite difficult to understand. It's kind of like when you're lisping, like the high end is like getting too crunchy. Like the honey, I want to hear that more honey, that like top end. As for them to collab, actually, damn. I wish I had your collab game. I'm too weak for your collab game. It's crazy. This track has aura, it has character. I agree. This is what we were talking about earlier. This is like perfect full circle to the beginning of the stream where this track has an it factor. It has like a really distinct sound design to it that just makes it, and as well as like the groove. Aside from like, it factor is just like the articulable thing that you're just like, like it just has like the vibe, right? It's like the vague thing. I should tell the person who made the vocal sample to re-sing. I don't even think it's a re-singing thing. I mean, I think it's like something you can kind of fix with EQ. I mean, obviously it'd be nice if she also sung more like harmonies or stuff with this. Because it feels like the vocals kind of, it is like one note. Actually, I mean, the fact that there's no doubles kind of, it would make such a difference if you had doubles in here to work with. Like that extra thing. I can do some harmonies manually. You can. I mean, that was going to be my next suggestion, is if you can't get extra doubles from the singer, make them yourself. But it's just never the same, you know? Toxic vocals. Well, I think what he means is more so with plugins, but honestly, singing Toxic, I'm down for it. Wraith sings. Oh, did you sing that yourself? I did not know. Damn, all right. That's the wrong tab. Cool. Yeah. What I was going to say, I just want to finish the point I made earlier. This track has it factor. It is cool, distinct, has a character to it, and I would come to the song for the specific vibe because I can't find it in any other song. You know, I might be able to find songs similar to it, but this is like, oh yeah, it's that song. It has that, scratches that particular itch that only this song scratches. Only in the harmonies? Yeah, but that's good. Honestly, I feel like I've tried to do it before. I tried to do it with the last like D&B track that I worked on. It was just like, didn't sound good. I couldn't get the same vibe. It just felt wrong. It's also because it's been way too long working on that track. So anyway, next up, Tincho, Stay With Me Forever, Id. I feel like this Id guy is everywhere, man. Do you want me to listen to it? Oh my god. Damn. Yo, who is this guy? Who is this guy? I don't know if you meant to put all the unreleased remixes in here. Leaked. Oh my god, a Synthtonics one. Whoa, Head Club 2. Okay, alright, let me listen to this one and we'll rope back to this.
City lights bright, open your eyes, you gotta jump in feet first and reach for the sky. Cause when you can't quite cut all your ties, you gotta live a little, baby, I never lie. Right now, baby, love you right now. Said it twice now, baby, let me know I'm going crazy. Don't leave, baby.
This vocal is super nice. The vibe is good too.
Promise that I'll be your daily. No, you'll never have to feel alone again. Find your way home again. Fight the unknown again. Spirit down, you know that I'm just a call away. Save us with our own cliches.
Ooh. Super sick.
City lights bright, open your eyes, you gotta jump in feet first and reach for the sky. Cause when you can't quite cut all your ties, you gotta live a little, baby, I never lie. Right now, baby, love you right now. Said it twice now.
I think this sounds better than the last time I heard it. Whoa. I send it, dude. Stab F3. I don't even know if that's the right stab, but this is funny. Okay, cool. Overall, I like the vibe of this. This down sweep is so overly high-endy, so I would replace the sweep entirely. It's kind of something that I think I've talked about it in previous streams. So like, it feels like your effects are a little too like outdated, and outdated doesn't necessarily mean bad, but it feels like it's stuck in like this like 2014 time period where it's like just when we only had Kashmir samples and we didn't know that other things existed. Like it's just really bright as well. I would say honestly, like there's just a couple of places as well there's like a little bit too much brightness. Like it's got quite a lot of high end, but it works. Overall, everything in here works. I think the transitions are just like feel a little robotic. Like there's just no drama, no like essence in it until you get to here and it's like, oh, key switch, which is like base as fuck. Key switch is cool, but it's too forced. I do see what you mean. I do see it being too forced, but also I kind of respect the ballsiness of it. And I feel like if you know it's coming, it's hype because you're like da 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 da. You're like, yeah, let's go. It's cool. For a first time listener, you're like, oh, what the fuck? We ended up in a completely different key. Huh? Also, I only want to hear the lows in my right ear, so pan all of that also. I think Kelly B said cut the side lows. Let me take a listen. Yeah, I kind of agree. I feel like everything below, like, it's kind of like, I would set the low cut at like 250 hertz on the sides and do it with like 12 dB per octave. So like a really soft one, but that will help you clean up with the sides without losing too much. And then after that, I would still low shelf the sides, but just until it's like to taste, until you're like, okay, cool, this is the right amount. Lol, real, the mouse so real, haha, real, haha. Are you guys real people or are you bots? I think my chat is cooked. Toxic said that. I will not take credit for that. I want the sub reverb. Bro's ordering it like he's reading off a menu. It's like, I want the sub reverbed, please, and also with the side of panning. That'd be really great. Full brain rot. Full brain rot. Alright, next up. Me too. I've got a project I'm working on that's going to be inspired by a lot of synthwave and stuff like that, and I found this project from a while back. I have no idea what I'm going to do as far as vocals go. Alright. It's kind of a creepy picture. sick synth. I like the vibe of this. I think you already know that I'm gonna say this is like this section is a little too long. Intro's cool though. I think the pluck being in here kind of makes the intro work. Yeah, really, once we get to here, I feel like the shaker it fits, but something is like missing from it. Something is like missing to like make the shaker stick for me, and I don't know what it is. I feel like I want it to be like softer somehow, just slightly softer. That's why I'm planning on doing some vocals. Tell Dan from NCS to sign him. You say like Dan is your neighbor. You're like, yeah, tell Dan. Yo, Dan, come in here, sign this guy. Yeah, the vocals will definitely sell the whole track. Also, what I meant with the picture is like, it's just surprisingly like innocuous, and that's what makes it feel creepy. It's just so. You're taking a photo of something so like fairly ordinary, but also it's like a dome. So it just feels like this is like a picture from like, yeah, this is where 17 children were murdered and buried. You know, and you're like, huh? That's what I immediately think of. Yeah, exactly. Liminal is the right word. Definitely got those liminal vibes. I hate that place. Understandable. I really don't got much more feedback other than just like the arrangement getting squeezed a bit. Maybe the kick's like kind of. The kick is like a lot of low end. You could maybe tame it a bit, or you can leave it for the effect. Toxic Wraith, No Escape. Let's go. I do want to hear this. I'm not gonna listen to the whole thing. I want to hear for the vocals.
We make feels like a symphony. I lose control of my heart and soul. Every time you walk into my room, I want control. You're taking over. I lose control of my.
I'm guessing it's here that the harmonies are there, right? You've kind of done a good job of like masking them. I say kind of done a good job. Like, you've done a good job. It's just like, obviously you wish that's like more. Yo, can I still submit? Or am I so late? I mean, you could still submit. Go for it. How are you, mate? I'm a little sick, but honestly, the stream has been such a banger that I'm like feeling a bit better. Yes, I did the harmonies. Yes, sir. All right, let's listen to this drop. Man, this turned out so clean.
You are the magnet that's pulling me closer.
Super cool. I love your style, man. It's so cool to hear just like people have such developed character that every time you hear a track of theirs, you're like, oh, that's a Toxic track. Like I could pick this up from literally 100 tracks and be like, yeah, that one's a Toxic track. That's the one. They sound like shit by themselves, so I had to mask them. Not totally fair. Dude, I'm always horrified whenever I like think I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do some recordings of my own. I got this, and then I listen back to them, and I'm like, what is this? I think it's worse because like as a music producer, you know exactly how good vocals can get. Like you really understand, and so I personally realize I'm like, they're like how I realize how just atrocious I am. I'm like, oh god, oh my lord. I'm going to start trying to make my own vocals soon. Do it. The sooner you start, the better. I feel like I missed my chance, which I didn't, but, you know, I still have plenty of time if I wanted to do it. I think it's just not as exciting to me as some of the other stuff I could be doing. I already sent another one. Wait, I really just want to do Mr. Dying Away's last one if he's gonna send it in, and then after that I'm gonna go like Trinus does. Fair enough. I feel like there's also like this, just the stuff I want to do with vocals is like different. I sent one. Yeah. Oh, he's rendering the track. I see. Alright, well, I'm just gonna wait for it then, I guess. Vocals are tough. Vocals are tough. Everybody needs vocals. More vocals is more good. Da 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 da. Da da da. Yes. Kelly B says yes. I'm trying to think, like, I wanted to ask, I'm going to ask on my Instagram, I think tomorrow on my story, but like, I want to ask again, like, what the pain points are, but I want like a little more specific answers. Because I want to know what samples I should be making at this point. Because, like, I know that everybody wants, like, vocals and drums, but what does that mean? Like, what kind of drums? Like, do we want, like, kicks and claps, or do we want like percussions? Because like I make a ton of percussions are really fun and kind of easy for me to make, at least, where it's just like I have a lot of fun getting like weird tonalities. Perks, yeah, cool. Yeah, Sam, if you go on my Patreon, I have a ton. There's like I just put out the folder as well, just like a bunch of free samples. If you just the Patreon's free. And I have like, there's at least like 30 or 40 perks across the packs. I think maybe it's a little less than that, but there's some cool things in there. I know that not every sample is for everyone, but I feel like it's definitely worth a pick out because you'll find some shit in there that you didn't know you wanted. Peak filters are goated in Serum. Okay, I agree. I'm a big fan. We love free shit. Hell yeah. I love sharing samples, dude. It's so much fun. There's nothing more fun than hearing, well, maybe not nothing, but like hearing other people use your samples is really fun because they always use it in a way that you just never expected. As far as I'm curious, did I put the Patreon? Yeah, my Patreon's in the description. Perfect. W. I think if I just say the word Patreon, Kelly B is gonna type W in chat every time. Maybe I'll just like road test it at some point. I'll just be like Patreon. Any chance you've sent this track, good sir? You still rendering? He's still rendering, bro. I should have feedbacked something else, but W plug. I appreciate it, man. My dude. When he said sending, I thought he meant he was sending it. Good lord. I'll actually listen to this one. From AOD. Oh, wait. Ooh. Wait, this name is so fucking awesome. I made the song for my hot Zulu girlfriend official, as opposed to unofficial. Ooh, nice drums, dude. Sadly, my sheet is not working. Ooh, we made it on Badland, but then remixed on FL. Sick. This feels super developed. Your sense of drums is really cool. Worked on the song for a year. Okay, that makes sense. It has this feeling like you really just like let it marinate and sit until it hit right. Commenter says fire emoji. Big sexy Dez. Hell yeah. What a name. Honestly, I don't really have feedback for this. This sounds like developed as hell. W track again? Yes, sir. Only bangers. Alright, let's... I really don't have thoughts about it. It's just a nice track, dude. Like, it's just a cool vibe. Dion Y. Melodic dub submission. And the brain is cooked. Just had another drop. Okay, I see. Right, let me turn this down because this is gonna be a big volume switch up from the last one.
Had you here, now you're gone. Thought I'd never be here on my own.
Alright, let me read. Thanks, son. Can you give me feedback as a demo then? Overall, everything I said was from the demo. Honestly, I think the sound of the demo is very, like, very grooved out. I think if you were, gonna take anything away for, like, the next EP, just make sure that your, like, arrangements are developing. Because there's, honestly, that track felt like you really nailed it in terms of, like, it just felt like there was constantly, not constantly, but it felt like it was always moving. It didn't feel like you were ever getting stuck on, like, loops that weren't turning into something else or adding something. It felt like really, really full and put together. The other tracks were cool as well, like, vibe-wise. Definitely had, like, good vibes. But it's also me focusing a lot on arrangement, just because it's something that's been on my mind in the last week. Just focusing on arrangement. Full did be dirty. It happens, dude. And then maybe like percussions, like making sure that like your shorter percussions are like, honestly, no. Your sense of percussion is really good. Maybe just like the sounds themselves can get a little repetitive, but it's okay. Yeah, that's kind of it. It's kind of hard for me to give like feedback on like an entire piece of music after I've like listened to a bunch of other tracks in between. Mixing needs work. That's true. The thing is, I used to give more mixing feedback, and now I realize like I can, and I still do, but it feels like mixing is a little bit of like a infinite game, right? And it's something that you just naturally will get better at if you put energy towards it. And it's something it's sometimes hard to tell where someone is at with mixing. It is like a very complex journey to go through. Yeah, I've spent a lot of time thinking about mixing, and honestly, I don't feel like I was super rewarded for just focusing on mixing. Like, yeah, my tunes sound decently clean, but you gotta get the vibe first. Mixing feedback doesn't really do much. I feel like feedback on ideas and concepts goes a longer way. That's true. That's true. It's all about weaving it together and getting a balance. All right, now let me listen to this. It's this track here.
Had you here, now you're gone. Thought I'd never be here on my own. Another day in another life.
No problem, Sam.
Got lost somehow. Did you ever think we'd turn around? I hope you can hear me now. mistakes, but I'll do whatever that it takes. I don't see that there's another way. I hope I get to see you here someday, 'cause I'll be here no matter what they say. Do you think I'll be okay here if I stay? 'Cause I will tell.
Da, da, da. No. Nice. I like the way those are weaved together. Okay, cool. I think for me the biggest thing is just like the mix actually. Funnily enough, I was just talking about like mix feedback is like difficult, but I feel like the vibe is good. You have everything here. It's just landing the mix mostly of the chords and the drop versus here. So here I think one, you need to take this part of the break and strip it back, like just do some EQ to make some things less loud and less overall impactful, so that when you get to your drop it feels balanced. Because right now this is kind of like louder and more full than the drop in terms of like your mids and low mids. I think your chords themselves need more mids. It's kind of like got the high end, but it's missing that emotional bass. Like if I turn up the mids here on your chords, yeah, it sounds like muddier and like less clean, but in my opinion, if you just work the EQ, like if I would just work this a little bit more, like start also removing some of this like error from like 5K. See how I've like completely transformed the sound, and that's 4 notches, by the way. That's literally just like 2K, 3K, taking some down at 5K, and then boosting some at 10K. Try doing that. Sounds fuller for real. Wait, I didn't. Maybe reference Roy Knox in future. Yeah, I hear the Roy Knox reference in here for sure. Sounds fuller for real. Yeah, I mean, this is really like a simple EQ. Obviously, when you get into the project, it's going to be more complicated to implement it because I'm just dropping this on the master. That's just to give you like a sense of like the direction. Obviously, now if you use the same EQ and you put it on the rest of the sound, it sounds like it's going to sound super too much. Like this sounds better, but when you get to here. But yeah, like the vibe is there. Super good. Super good. Okay, just to reiterate, because I know I said it really fast. Boosting around like 1.5K, just like a pretty wide notch. Then boosting around 2.5K with a fairly wide notch. Taking down some frequencies at like 6,000 or 7,000 on the chords, right? Because you want to leave that space for your drums. And then just boosting a little bit at like 10K to get some of the clarity back. And that's a bit of a narrower bell because you don't want to like spread it out too much to like the 14K region. And man, boost the chords, literally. Although in this case, we need to warp the chords. All right. Whew. Banging stream. I wasn't actually expecting it to be this long. I'm so happy to see all of you guys filtering in. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll see you guys next week. Does that work for you guys? Thanks for the stream. I appreciate you being here. Looking forward to all the new music next week. Excited to hear it. Send one for next stream. Send it next week. I won't. The form auto deletes because otherwise I would get very confused. So send it next week when you see the announcement. I'll see if I can actually get the bot to ping, because right now it doesn't ping at everyone. It just says at everyone, but doesn't seem to ping anyone that the stream is happening. Let's go. Yes, the Clock Strikes 12 remix is coming out next Friday. Let's go. W. Alrighty then. Goodbye, everyone. I hope you have a good week. Good rest of your weekend. All right.